From the radio service of the Liberia Broadcasting System in Peso, hello and welcome to Newsline, a full hour of news presentation from and about Liberia, Africa, and our global village. Today is Friday, March 6, 2026, and I'm Pastor Palu presenting. These are the top stories. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has Putu Money Project reactivation in Grant, Judah County. Liberia and Japan signed over 2 billion Japanese yen deal to reconstruct Freeport Gabriel Copper Bridge corridor. Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction hails President Joseph Boakai for advancing national development and inclusive governance, and away from home, massive number of civilians killed in Nigeria's Borno State attack. These was the news in Liberian English. French, the weather report, sports, and a roundup of our foreign news are all packaged in this edition of Elbc Newsline. But first, we'll go over to Emmanuel Colley for a bulletin of news.
The executive mansion has announced the appointment of Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn as heads for the finalization of the Putu mining project. President Walker, in a release terms, the timely conclusion of the Putu mining project as critical to economic recovery, revealing generation and job creation. The Liberian leader noted that the Putu mining project remains an urgent national priority, emphasizing the appointment of the Kuhn as a major step towards the immediate advancements of the project. In the release, President Walker instructed relevant ministries, agencies, and commissions including Mines and Energy, Finance, Justice, and the National Investment Commission to fully cooperate to allow and coordinate efforts to implement the project. According to the release, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn will be tasked with convening an interagency task force to establish a clear roadmap for all outstanding processes. The Kuhn's appointment to expedite the Putu mining project followed months of prolonged updates from relevant institutions, indicating that negotiations and arrangements for the transfer of the project sites. At the same time, President Joseph Walker has congratulated the government and people of Ghana on the occasion of the 69th independence anniversary of that country. In a message to his Ghanaian counterpart, John Mahama, President Walker reflected on Ghana's long but determined journey towards national development and democratic consolidation. The Liberian leader noted with pride the remarkable progress and democratic gains Ghana has made over the last years. He expressed hope that the cordial ties of friendship and cooperation between the two nations will be further strengthened as they continue to collaborate within regional and international frameworks. President Walker prayed that God will continue to endow President Muhammad with abundant wisdom and strength as he leads the people of Ghana towards greater prosperity. The governments of Liberia and Japan have signed over 2 billion Japanese yen road contracts with the Dainipo construction in Japan. The contract will see the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the Freeport to Gabriel Bridge Road corridor. Deputy Public Works Minister for Technical Services Prince Tama signed on behalf of the governments of Liberia. Mr. Tama expressed appreciation to the Foreign Ministry and Liberia's ambassador to Japan, Elbc Newsline, for sustaining the country's bilateral partnership.
Serves as an essential gateway to the port area and connects key economic zones within the city of Monrovia, including strategic crossing at the Gabriel Bridge.
According to Minister Tama, the project will significantly improve mobility. The Deputy Public Works Minister also noted that the initiative will address the persistent flooding challenges along critical corridors leading to the Gabriel Bridge. The Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction (MDR) is extolling President Joseph Boakai for his government's commitment to national development and inclusive governance. The party says over the past 2 years, the government under President Boakai has made remarkable achievements across key sectors in the country. In dispatch quotes, the party has named some of the sectors as infrastructure, education, and health, which had strengthened public service delivery for the people. They pointed to bringing into the country the first of the 285 pieces of yellow machines that are expected to play a critical role in the nation road connectivity drive. At the same time, the party is calling on Liberians to be supportive of government development agenda which is geared towards building a strong and sustainable country. Gender Minister Birmingham Horace Colley has outlined several flagship interventions undertaken by the government to address structural inequalities that have affected Liberian women in the years. Mr. Horace Colley named the Liberian Women Empowerment Project and the Realize Project as key initiatives government is using to support hundreds of women in business and farming. Speaking activities marking International Women's Day Friday in Deansville, the gender minister noted that more than 500 communities in 22 districts are currently benefiting from the initiatives.
Backbone of Liberian informal economy, only approximately 55% of poor enterprises.
According to her, these initiatives are expanding income generating opportunities for Liberia's vulnerable population and contributing to poverty reduction in the country. Meanwhile, the gender minister has assured Liberian women of government determination to empower women and strengthen communities across Liberia. Youth and Sports Minister Colenia Kra has recounted significant strides made by Liberia in empowering women and girls, especially in leadership. Ms. Kra said, unlike in previous years, Liberian women and girls are now seen in managerial positions, both in the public and private sectors. She made reference to her position as Youth and Sports Minister and other positions that women are occupying in government, including the Ministries of Education, Health, Gender, among others. Ms. Akra, however, noted that despite these trials, more needs to be done in protecting the rights and dignity of women and girls in the country.
But while we make those strides, we cannot deny that there is still more to be done. More to be done towards sustaining these gains. So that it's not just one time, but like where we comes and make a history and then leaves, it doesn't happen for the next 10 to 20 years.
According to her, women in Liberia still face what she termed as marginalization, domestic violence, rape, and other social bullying, while calling for a holistic effort to minimize these issues. Mr. Graham made a session Friday in Pinsville at a feature celebration of this year's International Women's Day under the national theme Key to Give. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has renewed calls for increased women's leadership in politics and national development. And Sirleaf says the current low number of women in Liberian legislature should serve as a wake-up call for deliberate efforts to boost female participation in governance. She believes Liberian women are capable and well prepared to assume greater leadership responsibilities and contribute meaningfully to national development.
Africa, like others worldwide, have adopted a corporate system or other legal political action to ensure that women are equitably represented in the legislative space. I know that the vote for women basically from statistics and general.
Sirleaf made a remarks Thursday when she appeared as a special guest before members of the House of Representatives. The former Liberian leader wants citizens in the country to emulate other African nations for increased women leadership and participation in national leadership. Government has announced significant progress being made in 3 of the 6 pillars of their REST agenda for inclusive development on a period of 1 year. These pillars include economic transformation, infrastructure development, and the rule of law components of the AAID. According to a cabinet secretary release, these declarations formed part of a special cabinet meeting chaired by President Wakai on Thursday in Monrovia. Under the economic transformation pillar, the release is reporting improved macroeconomic stability, domestic revenue collection, as well as increased financial inclusion, expanded agricultural outputs. In the release, the cabinet underscores rapid road rehabilitation and expansion improvements in water supply and distribution systems, expanded digital connectivity under the infrastructure development bill. The Senate has summoned several ministries and agencies of government to provide updates on the status of volunteer teachers, of workers, and teaching of civics in Liberian schools. The entities include the Ministries of Education, Health, Finance, and the Civil Service Agency. In his communication, Bakulu County Senator Amara Kone pleaded to plenary to ensure health authorities provide updates on the total number of volunteer health workers in clinics and hospitals across the country. Senator Kone also wants health authorities to provide statistics on the number of volunteers formerly placed on the national payroll between 2025-2026 fiscal year. At the same time, the Executive Director and Board of Directors of the National Identification Registry have been instructed by the Senate to provide and give updates on the suspension of the issuance of National Citizens Identification Cards. It followed a communication from Riverside County Senator Willington Gibbon Smith on Thursday. According to our legislative reporter, Senator Gibbon Smith said the unexplained suspension of the issuance of the Citizens Identification Cards honors normal business transactions. He noted that the situation is forcing serious difficulties for citizens across the country to carry out transactions at banks and critical institutions. The National Lottery Authority, the NLA, has begun destroying over 100 slot machines confiscated from various gambling centers in Monrovia and parts of Liberia. Slot machine is a gambling device with spinning wheels. According to the NLA Director General Peter Solo, those machines were seized from centers which failed to adhere to the entity's regulation. Mr. Solo noted that the regulation banned children under the age of 18 from gambling on the slot machines. Speaking Friday in Monrovia, the NLA Director General said among the slot machines destroyed were those seized from Tong LLC, who had been operating illegally in Lofa County. The Liberia National Police, the LNP, has confirmed that one person has died as a result of a collision between a train and a vehicle in the White Plain area. The incident, police said, occurred late Thursday night. The vehicle reportedly attempted crossing the railroad track. Preliminary police investigation has established that the collision resulted in the fatality, while other individuals sustained serious injury and is currently receiving medical attention. Officials of the LNP disclosed that the victim has been identified as a foreign national who was visiting the country. However, the Liberian National Police has launched a full-scale investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The 14th Judicial Circuit Court in Riverside County has set free Emmanuel Jacobs from a murder case involving one Bobby Brown. According to our correspondent, Jacobs was free on Wednesday following a unanimous non-guilty verdict by jurors during the February term of court. And the Civil Service Agency has given March 12, 2026 as deadline for any employees transfer to the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated, the LNTR. CSA Director General Dr. Josiah Joka said after the March 12 deadline, no employee will be given or have the opportunity to take transfer to the LNTR. Dr. Joka stated that the government intends to provide an opportunity for employees at the Ministry of Transport to take employment at the company or remain its employer.
Emmanuel Collider with the news bulletin makes a return later with our weather report and international development. One of the big stories we are following this evening, Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction hails President Joseph Boakai for advancing national development and inclusive governance. Government continues to take critical steps to improve road infrastructure across the country. Following a productive week of engagement in Tokyo, Japan, the Liberian government has secured an over $2 billion Japanese yen contract with a construction company. Deputy Public Works Minister for Technical Services, Prince Tama, represented the Liberian government at the signing ceremony Friday.